Hey, just one cynic here with a special public service announcement during this coronavirus scare that is going on due to the crisis in Wuhan, China, and spreading globally. I have a couple of examples here of different kinds of masks that I'd like to discuss. And for those of you who have come to know me a little bit through my videos, you will likely have figured out that I don't suffer fools gladly, that I don't have a lot of time for people who are not very curious and who struggle to understand complexity and struggle to understand how to take large amounts of data and figure it out in their brain and come up with answers that are rational and logical and follow the norms of scientific inquiry. To quote some comedians out there, it's a bit like, hello, can't figure things out, eh? So for the not-so-smarters out there, the people who struggle to understand things, and I must admit to a certain amount of disappointment. I know from having read the literature and know what the facts are that the Chinese have a higher IQ than any other population cohort on the planet, closely followed by the Ashkenazi Jews of Europe. And it's a little disappointing to see so many Chinese wearing, even in the best of times, what amounts to, I'm sorry, I don't have an example here. My wife had one, but she tossed it out because she thought it was dirty. Wearing these surgical masks, which are essentially like this, Kleenexes, facial tissues that are folded up and have a little elastic on them. So what's the deal with wearing surgical masks? I mean, hey, if they're good enough for the for surgeons and for nurses, then they must be great for everyone, right? What folks seem to not understand about wearing these is that these things stop surgeons from giving their infection to their patients. They don't want to run the risk of creating any more infection in their patients than they might already be exposed to, especially in hospitals where pneumonia is common and E. coli and C. difficile are common. So when you wear one of these Kleenexes on your face, all you're doing is preventing your nose and your mouth from exhaling any bacteria and viruses that you have in your breath, in the little droplets of moisture that are in your breath and coming out through your nose and your mouth, especially your mouth, but also your nose, and catching it in these things, which hopefully you'll throw away later. What is happening is that the side of these things around your nose is completely open. Things in air distribute equally. And so any bad stuff that is in the air around you as you're walking down the street is going in down the sides and around the sides and up around here and into your nose and your mouth and into your lungs and creating something for your immune system to fight. So all of you not so smarters out there who are wearing those things, all you're doing is preventing any virus that you have from being conducted into other people's lungs. You're not saving yourselves in any possible way. I mean, maybe if somebody sneezes in your face, the Kleenex thingy of the surgical mask is catching that. But you're not stopping yourself from breathing in all those bad things. If you want to actually stop yourself from getting somebody else's disease, you have to wear what doctors who are exposed to people with the virus are wearing. These are N95s. They are qualified to actually stop you from intaking viruses. Not only are they thicker in terms of the type of filtration they're offering, much tighter, and therefore not allowing those larger particles to come through, they are eliminating with their metal on the top and the foam against the nose. They're trying to eliminate any spaces that might allow air to come through. And so, raising the glasses, because the glasses create another plastic hard spot where the bad stuff can come through. What these things are doing, and this is the better one, it's tightly fitting around, and I've got to press down on the aluminum on the top to pinch around my nose. I can feel it. There's a tight seal all the way around from my nose to the bottom of my chin. When I breathe in, I'm filtering all the air through here. This one is better because it does not have the valve. Okay, so this one is more used for doing what I used to do, which is home renovation and doing a lot of dust coming in. This has a valve in the middle that allows me to, when I breathe out, for the air to rush out. What that means is that here in this valve thingy, the little rubber thing is allowing the air to go out. But as soon as I breathe in, it's closing and sucking all the bad air around me through this filter. This doesn't work very well if you're trying to stop somebody else from getting your disease, because it's blowing your filthy air right out through the valve. This one, on the other hand, has no such valve. So when you breathe out with this, it is essentially not necessarily going through here. It's also coming out around your mask, but at least it's not being directed forward. So folks, if you really want to stop yourself from being exposed to bad stuff in the air, you need to wear an N95, not a surgical mask little Kleenex thingy that is not preventing you from getting anything bad up your old schnozzoo and into your system. So the next time you're on the street and you see somebody wearing the old surgical mask, feel free to ask them, hey, excuse me, public service thing, just curious, what do you have? Oh, I don't have anything. Well, then why are you wearing that? Because all this does is prevent your germs from being spread to other people. The air is going around it, and you're going to catch anything that is floating around in the air wearing one of these silly things. So in this way, you can do your own survey and just figure out in the world around you who has a high IQ and is able to figure stuff out, and who maybe is not so smart and can't figure out a lot of stuff, or maybe never went to physics class and doesn't understand, therefore, how air works and how distribution of particles work in air and how our lungs work, etc., etc. Keep it in mind, please. Next time you feel ill yourself or are worried, or somebody else in your family is worried, get yourself some N95 masks. Use the 3M variety without the valve and truly prevent yourself from intaking any really bad stuff that is out there in the air around you. And best of luck. Hope you don't come down with anything. Let's face it, coronavirus is probably not a huge risk in North America. I certainly came down with something after driving somebody around who had just come back from China, central China no less. A couple of weeks ago, I came down with a 6-day flu or 6-day fever, and was scared that it was the coronavirus. Called up CDC even from my sickbed and asked them, and they said, you're the most legitimate person we've had call us today because you had exposure to somebody who'd come back and said that they'd come back. But as long as they weren't showing any symptoms and they had been back more than 4 days, then you are probably safe, and so are they. So I'm okay, hope you're okay, and hope you've learned something about how effective masks are and why those little things are kind of stupid. I hope you got something out of my thinking, and if you think I deserve it, please click on the thumbs up sign down below. If you'd like to watch more of my insights into what drives our sometimes peculiar behavior, please click on the links beside me to other videos I've posted. To get notified when I put something new out, click on the subscribe link below me. If you feel inclined to really help me out, do all of the above, as it helps my ranking on YouTube go up.